Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just jump right in. Picture this scenario. You just got a sweet bonus at work, or maybe a massive invoice finally cleared, or you landed that raise you've been chasing for literally 2 years. What's your very first instinct? For most of us, it's this overwhelming urge to buy something you can point at, something flashy. We've all been there, right? Feeling that immediate dopamine hit. But as we're going to explore today, that initial rush often leads us down a fascinating yet completely unfulfilling path.
To see what I mean, there's this brilliant little story from our source text. The author describes having this pristine 1,200-pound Italian road bike just sitting in their hallway. It's this aggressive, vibrant color of a wasp. And the kicker? They've ridden it exactly 4 times. 2 of those times were literally just to the end of the road to check the brakes. So after maybe 40 minutes of genuine chemical happiness unboxing the thing and taking the perfect photo for social media, it just became purely ornamental. Now, it just gathers dust. They literally have to move it out of the way just to vacuum the floor, and it brings on this small, vague feeling of guilt every single time.
And this brilliant little anecdote brings us to a massive question. Why do our most exciting purchases change absolutely nothing about our day-to-day existence? I mean, the bike looks great, it signals success to everyone who sees it, but Tuesday morning feels exactly the same as it did before the bike ever arrived.
The author actually coins a perfect term for this whole phenomenon. They call it loud money. Think of it as capital that is traded purely for visibility. It's highly theatrical. It performs. But here is the tragic joke inside every loud purchase. You're buying it for an audience that looked exactly once, thought, oh nice, and immediately went right back to scrolling.
You see this out in the wild all the time. Think about that pristine marble kitchen island that looks like it belongs in an architectural magazine, but where nobody ever actually chops an onion. Or think about the aggressively financed luxury car. Sure, it looks absolutely amazing sitting there on the dealership lot, but in reality, it sits in the exact same miserable morning traffic jam as a 10-year-old hatchback. These highly visible status symbols just completely fail to actually improve our daily routines. So why on earth do we keep falling for it? Well, psychology actually gives us the answer: hedonic adaptation. See, the human brain is ruthlessly efficient. When you buy that luxury item, your brain quickly files that brand new pleasure away as your completely normal, fresh baseline. The fancy watch you desperately wanted simply becomes the watch you have, and your brain immediately starts eyeing the horizon for the next upgrade.
Which brings us to this incredibly profound realization from the text. Loud money is a tax you pay to a nervous system that was always going to move the goalposts before you had finished celebrating. That is absolutely crucial to understand. It is an unwinnable race. You are constantly paying a premium just to feel a temporary spike before your own brain resets the board on you.
But what if we flip the script? Enter a totally different philosophy: quiet money. While loud money is bought for an audience, quiet money is entirely invisible. And honestly, that is exactly the point. You can't photograph a good night's sleep. You can't post a screenshot of financial peace of mind on social media. But quiet money compounds every single day, genuinely improving your baseline life while the loud stuff just slowly yellows in a drawer. So how do we actually put this into practice? The source material lays out a really clear 6-step blueprint for where your surplus cash should actually be going. It's a hierarchy of quiet money, starting from buying back your time all the way to an essential final step that most people skip. Let's break these down one by one.
All right, step 1, turn your money back into time. Think about this logically for a second. If your time was valuable enough to generate that spare cash in the first place, spending your entire Saturday scrubbing the skirting boards is a terrible trade. We constantly dress this up as being thrifty, but you are literally wasting your most precious, non-renewable resource. And this isn't just some nice philosophy, we have the data. In a 2017 study published in PASS, researcher Ashley Willens and her colleagues looked at over 6,000 adults. They found a definitive, measurable result. People who spent money on services that saved them time reported significantly higher life satisfaction than those who just bought physical objects.
So here's how you actually apply that. Definitely outsource things like a cleaner, getting your groceries delivered, or sending your shirts out to be ironed. Take the taxi instead of battling for parking in the pouring rain. But there is one stubborn exception here. Don't outsource a chore you genuinely love doing. The author shares this great wry little anecdote about washing dishes by hand terribly. Why? Because it's the only 10 minutes of their entire day where nothing beeps at them or demands a decision. If a chore is a sort of moving meditation for you, keep it. Just outsource the rest.
Moving right along to step 2, treat sleep as infrastructure. Think about it. A full third of your life happens entirely horizontally. Yet how many of us are sleeping on a mattress we panic bought in a 90-minute rush? We treat sleep as an afterthought, but the text hits us with this powerful quote: cheap sleep is the most expensive thing you will ever own. Why? Because bad sleep quietly taxes everything. It taxes your immune system, your judgment, your patience, and your ability to be a tolerable human being before 10 a.m. When you skimp on sleep, you pay for it all day long.
So, you've got to make these infrastructure-level investments. Buy a proper mattress. Install blackout blinds, because that streetlight outside does not care about your circadian rhythm. Get the room cold. And please, bin the dead, exhausted pillow, because as the author humorously points out, having a super mattress under a flat, dead pillow is really just a much pricier way to give yourself a neck ache.
Okay, step 3, maintain the operator.
Money is essentially just a magnifying glass, right? It just enlarges whoever you already were. So you have to service the operator, and that's you, before you buy new equipment. So what does that maintenance actually look like? First, join the gym closest to your house. Proximity is literally the only metric that actually predicts attendance, so do not buy the cheap membership across town that you'll visit twice a year. Find a trusted dentist because you only get one adult set of teeth. Pay for the responsive GP so you get seen this month, not next spring. And finally, get a therapist. Even if you think you don't need one, they are paid to keep you honest with yourself in a world that is built to distract you.
That brings us to step 4. Lay the boring plumbing.
This is the financial homework literally no one feels inspired to do. But the golden rule here is to ensure only the things that would genuinely ruin you. Which brings us to a highly relatable story. The author talks about feeling something small die inside them when a cashier offered an extended warranty on a 30-pound toaster. Do not insure the toaster. Absorb those small hits yourself. Save your money for the real plumbing, real health cover, income protection, and writing a will so your family isn't haggling with a solicitor while they're trying to grieve.
And when it comes to your pension and investments, the advice is brilliant. Keep it dull. Fund your pension into something broad and diversified. Remember this rule: a strategy you cannot explain owns you, not the other way around. If you can't easily explain your investments to a friend over coffee, it is just way too complicated.
Step 5. Feed the engine that earns.
All of this advice basically assumes the money just keeps rolling in, right? But it only keeps arriving because you are good at something. Before your current gig stops paying, you need to spend some of that surplus getting even better. This means investing in professional software without those amateur watermarks, buying the course or hiring a coach. It means buying the expensive ticket to the industry event just so you can be in the room for those unrecorded, off-program conversations in the corridor. And crucially, it means buying yourself unhurried time to practice. The version of you that made your current money isn't necessarily the one equipped to make the next lot.
And finally, step 6. Keep the good ones close. This is the step people skip all the time, but it's the one they grieve the most. If you strip away the index funds and the perfect mattress, what's left is just a short list of people who matter to you. And they cannot know they matter unless you actually turn up. Buy the train tickets home. Be the friend who takes the dinner bill without making a big fuss. Send specific, ridiculous gifts. Say yes to the trip, because one day those open weeks on the calendar just stop arriving. Money spent on keeping good people close is the absolute highest return investment you will ever make.
Bringing it all full circle, the loudest thing you own is usually the emptiest. That wasp-colored bike is still sitting in the author's hallway, catching the afternoon light, really just serving as a monument to an older version of themselves. But they don't spend loud anymore. Now, their surplus goes to a cleaner, a new mattress, and train tickets to see their parents while it's still simple to do so. None of it photographs well, but all of it is genuinely paying out every single day.
So I want to leave you with this final lingering thought to challenge how you look at your next bonus or raise. What is the best money you will spend this year that nobody will ever see? Think about how you can start spending quietly to buy back your time, your health, and your years. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.